ninjas, are you ready? It's time for the PwnedByGirls Podcast with your favorite gamers, Alana Evans, LILBLUEBOXox and Penny Lane. Hit the website, PwnedByGirls.com, and follow us on Twitter at PwnedByGirls. Now grab your joysticks. It's time to get pwned by girls. Hey ninjas, it's time! Woo woo! This is the PwnedByGirls Podcast. I'm your host Alana Evans with my girl LILBLUEBOX.
What up, ninjas, bitches, and pirates?
Arr, and our girl Miss Penny Lane.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Woo woo! Yay! We got both my bitches.
Yeah, we're full stack today.
That's right.
Does that make
the bitches?
Is that a triple stack?
Yes.
All these dirty, inappropriate, filthy things
Oh yeah,
come to mind.
I just got
Right?
an image in my brain like what that would look like.
Yes.
Interesting.
3 pancakes.
We can just go cutesy, and it can
Totally.
be like a stackable.
It's
little
pancakes.
round plushie cat, like.
Oh,
It's
whoa.
butter
I went
and
dirty.
syrup and oh my god, I
No.
swear to God, Easter's coming and I've put on so much weight thanks to like all the Cadbury eggs in the stores.
Oh my god.
It's really fucking mean is what it is. I don't know how to deal with it. I'm trying to figure out. I don't know what happened, but
Well, my favorite Easter candy is stupid expensive. It's those like lint bunnies. They're like $7 for a single bunny. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm broke enough to not get fat this year.
what is a lint bunny? Because that sounds like something
Yes.
you pull out of your dryer.
Yeah, okay, it's
branded chocolate.
LINDT.
Yeah.
LINDT.
Oh,
And
yes.
It is like some of the best tasting chocolate I have ever
I want to
freaking
say it's
had.
from Sweden.
I think so. It's something like
Ooh.
that, but it's really good.
Sweden,
and
Switzerland. Oh, I always get it confused.
I know exactly
I
what you're
support it
talking
until
about.
they go on sale after Easter.
They
Yeah,
make
but they're-
these chocolate
Yeah.
cream filled balls, right? Aren't
Yeah,
they
the little
truffles?
truffles.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, the truffle.
They're
Yep.
amazing. They're amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so picture the like chocolate that's on like around the truffle
Okay.
in like a chocolate bunny. It's a hollow, just delicious, light chocolate bunny. It's so good.
Dude, they
Now I
have
want
them
one.
at Costco. They're selling them at Costco right now because I just got back. It's absolutely terrible. Although it's super grown up of me because, oh my god, I'm literally raving about my Costco membership simply because not for the TVs or the awesome tech stuff that they sell or the amazing food. It's for my prescriptions, and that's how I know
Oh,
I'm
yeah, the
old.
Yes.
Or you're
No,
cheap as
though,
fuck
like
there.
I know people younger than me, the people in their early ass 20s that are just like, I gotta get a Costco membership because I need those prescription discounts, and I'm just like, good on
Dude.
you for
Well,
thinking that way.
I mean, if you think about it, like I spent the first time I noticed it was when I got my birth control. It was $10 instead of $30, and I was just blown away.
I heard
Yay!
you have to be a member though to use their pharmacy.
Yes, you have to be a member, but a
Yeah.
personal membership is only like $60.
For the
And
year.
it's a year,
then-
right?
Yeah, yeah.
And
so
then we have the executive membership.
Same.
So so that's more. I think it's like 110 or 100 or something a year. But
Uh-huh.
you get 5. You get a certain percentage back of everything that you spend. So
Oh,
by
that's
the
awesome.
so by the end of the year, so it's usually around December or November when my membership comes up. But anyway, the check that I get covers the membership because I'm there.
Oh.
Because I get my detergent there.
Yeah.
And like I always get like all like the big stuff there. I mean, I still go there for like random crap
Damn.
too sometimes. But I'm there spending like $30 on, like Tide Pods and shit like that and whatever the fuck else. So
you know what that means for me?
Yeah.
It means my old roommates got my Costco check.
Oh damn!
That's all right. Our awesome couch that we had our couch party with, I bought at Costco.
How did that go? Was that?
We already earned
awesome
30
party?
bucks back. Oh, our awesome breaking in of the couch.
Yes.
It was
everything
amazing.
all lit up and cool?
Oh, okay. We went way too far with the Amazon Prime. I now have like, I can light my entire living room and gaming den up as
Oh my God.
a fucking nightclub.
I love that.
It's 2 stories in the living room, right? It's that whole open area. So, like, we bought $11 little lights that look like disco lights from Amazon. We bought 3 of them total. They're in each corner of the room. They light the entire ceiling, the whole living room area, my stairwell. It is awesome, and I wonder if my neighbors can see it. Like little creaks. They're like, what the hell's going on in their house? All I know is they want to come over. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what's going on, but I want to do it too.
It's got to be a good time. Yeah,
That's awesome.
So we watched some silly movies, and I made food. We drank a lot, and I discovered a new drinking game.
Oh boy.
It's called, because the boys all play, like, what is it? What the fuck is that? Beer pong and stuff. So
King's Cup and all that.
Yeah, so we played a game called Four Corners.
Oh, wait, I feel like I've heard of this.
And so we take the beer pong table, and at each corner is a player, right? So it's still 2 on each side, and you have your corner. You've got a upside down can of beer on it. I sound like such an alcoholic right now. So the object is to throw the ping pong ball, 1 player on each team separately, right? And so I'd go first. I'd throw the ping pong ball and try to hit one of the cans. If I hit the can, my partner gets to flip open his beer, pop it open, and chug it while the other team is scrambling to get the ping pong ball, have a clear shot from one player to the other, tossing it to them. Then once that player catches it, they hit the table and say down, and that means you got to stop drinking. And so I've learned I'm pretty goddamn good at hitting the can. But if you hit the can, and the person's can that you hit is empty, and you happen to like knock it off the table, or it's almost empty and you knock it off, they have to get a new beer. But the goal of the game is to drink your can and be able to pour it over your head, count to 3, and nothing comes out. If something comes out, you have to get a new beer. So imagine in the span of 10 minutes me slamming 2 beers. Oh man, I realized at that moment that is why college kids play drinking games. Because you drink the alcohol when it's beer that much faster, which is probably pretty cheap on a college kid's salary or budget, because there is no salary. What am I talking about? Your parents pay your salary, unless you have a job and you're killing yourself. But yeah, you get fucking tossed fast as fuck because you're slamming beers. So that was my couch party. It was fun though.
That's awesome.
It was fun. I'm very good at the game, but not good at drinking beer quickly. I need to practice that.
I'm horrible at those ping pong ball games where you win the goldfish. And I don't like beer, so I just won't even touch beer.
I don't want to win a goldfish, though. I feel horrible.
Well, I can't do those little toss games. I cannot do them.
Oh, you can't toss, can you, Penny?
Yeah. No, I can't. I don't have a tongue ring anymore. No.
Oh, what about you, Blue? Do you toss?
No.
Okay, it could mean anything. It could mean tossing cookies. It could mean tossing a Caesar salad.
A Cobb salad.
A Cobb. My ex
salad.
from California liked his butthole to be played with. So that's what we're talking about.
Is that the one that became a priest?
Oh my God!
The one that was a car who sells cars. Yeah,
right. I just think it's funny that he became a priest. That's the biggest.
Well, is he
part.
a priest or is he just I Love Jesus fan?
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. With religions, there's a whole hierarchy. He became for a minute. He's not a priest because that's Catholic and you have to go through that whole process.
Well, right, but I don't even know. Did he become some kind of? I think he just
a reverend.
Yeah, for a while, that's what he was doing. He was speaking at he was doing that thing at church,
doing sermons and stuff.
Yeah, doing sermons.
Okay.
But then but then like
selling God didn't work out, so he had to go sell cars. And
then when he sells a car, he does like the whole lay on hands with the people after they sell the car to like praise Jesus that like they bought a car. Like, because you know when you're
those Jesus bumper stickers.
Wow.
I don't know, but he was selling Maserati for a hot second. I'm like, could you imagine like your freaking car dealer is like putting his hands on you to like praise Jesus? I'd be like, yeah, I'm out. See ya.
Yeah, don't touch me. Don't touch me.
I'd be like, nah, I'm good.
No.
That's nuts.
I mean, even if I was like extremely religious and stuff, I'd still just kind of be like, this is weird. I just bought a car from you. I didn't really ask you to touch me.
But yes, he had a lot of anal tendencies with his own anal region.
Damn!
This intro escalated quickly.
Woo! And on that segue, what about you, Penny? You down for some Fortnite news? Since we're talking anal.
We're talking about asses,
really?
I guess.
I don't know how those two are related, but let's go for it.
They're not related at all. It was just I had to think of something else to segue to.
That's a great segue.
Fortnite segue there, or we could segue Riverdale, because there's a bunch of asses on that show too.
Oh man.
Asses go all across the board, so we could segue into anything.
I love it. Alright, let's start with the Fortnite news, and then we'll segue into Riverdale from Fortnite. Alright, here's your intro, lady. And now, Fortnite news with Penny Lane.
Oh, that intro kills me. Gosh, that intro, I love it.
Love it.
I love it. So, truth be told, I've honestly not been playing Fortnite recently. I've been keeping up with some of the news, but I've not been playing. I'm so frustrated by that stupid hamster ball crap that they have in the game right now.
Hamster ball?
Yes, it's like the baller mobile or some crap like that. It's just a giant ass hamster ball, and you can like roll around the map in it. And to me, the like overabundance of all of these vehicle things is really kind of making the game dumb.
It's making it a baby game?
Kind of. I mean, there are still people that are like, you know, getting really into it. They're bringing in more competitive aspects of the game and stuff, but at the same time, it's like, but you're adding in all of this really cheesy shit. So how are all these like really serious like competitors supposed to really take this game that seriously?
Right.
If they're trying to like hone their skill on the core basics of what Fortnite was, which was battle royale,
building.
And building, battle royale, and being the last person standing. If they're trying to hone those skills and take advantage of the new weapons and yada yada, but yet they're, you know, in a one-on-one in an epic build battle, then here comes some schmuck on a fucking hoverboard and they just take them out. It's just
stupid.
like, damn! Well, what was the point?
Right.
What was the point of that then? And I also recently was shown a clip where you can now switch directions on the zipline, because in addition to all of the like moving vehicle things they have in there, they also have ziplines, so you can move directions. So there is a clip of this guy playing, and all he's doing is staying on the zipline above everybody and just switching directions and shooting with a rocket launcher.
Wow.
Like, during the clip, he's just like, oh yeah, this is cheating. This is 100% cheating. Oh my god, this is so cheating. And really, like people are engaging in pretty hefty build battles and one-on-one fights beneath him, and he's just popping off with the rocket launcher, like, whatever.
Taking him out as he chooses.
Exactly. And so him and his partner, or him alone, I don't remember if he was playing with somebody, but because it was just his view from his stream, he ended up winning the game.
Oh, wow.
It's like, you know, well, shit. You know, what if somebody was, like, actually really, really trying to go all balls out competitive with this, and got taken out from above by somebody exploiting the fact that they don't need to get off of the zip line. Like, to me, that would be some bullshit. Like, if I were really like competitive in this game and like getting down to it with only one other person, and then here comes somebody with some dumb cheeky ass play.
Cheeky man.
And then all of a sudden it's like, well, they won because they managed to exploit some dumbass shit. Like, ridiculous. Yeah, I wouldn't want to compete anymore. I would think that was just stupid. No, they honestly should. They should have separate servers for the competitive play, where it's actual Fortnite.
Right, or like a vanilla version, right? Like
exactly.
Right, like here. Do you want to play with all the fun stuff, and do you want to ride around in a shopping cart all game and be a stupid ass?
Ooh. Like I know that they have modes and stuff that you can choose, like explode mode and
right,
vaulted, unvaulted weapons and blah blah blah. But if they really, really, really want to do something competitive wise, they should probably go more the route of Overwatch.
Sure.
Where Overwatch has a specific, it's competitive gameplay. You click on that to only play comp. And their new heroes and the new releases for things the new heroes don't get released into comp right away the minute they come out. They're only on quick play. So that's a good way to do shit. Like if I was Fortnite and I had all these people trying to competitively play and I'm investing that much money in prize money, I would sure as hell make sure that I can actually have a section for my competitive players. And then not bring any of this other crap that I'm releasing on, patch day into that server until, it's been tested, until it's been talked about, or, whatever. Like, listen to your players. Like, I'm sure not a lot of people are just super gung-ho on being the very best of the best with a hamster ball. I could be wrong, but I mean,
oh my god,
these people being like, I'm gonna win $1 million, so I'm gonna be the best hamster ball. I mean,
I could feel good about that.
But if you want to play Super Monkey Ball, play Super Monkey Ball. Like, don't go to Fortnite.
Right? Ooh, 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 ooh. Speaking of that, I slid a little bit of new not so Fortnite news, I think is a label for it. And I heard about this because my boyfriend was telling me the other day when we were shopping, and I couldn't believe it. And at that moment, I'll let you read it, Penny, but at that moment I just went, okay, at this point I'm totally jealous of Ninja.
Oh, I know.
I want his life.
Right? It's like, let me give you $1 million to just not play that other game for a whole day. Play this one instead.
And we just play this one. A day?
A day.
Wow.
EA reportedly paid Ninja $1 million to stream Apex Legends for a day.
Wow.
Like, what?
And how do you feel about that when you're Fortnite?
Exactly.
I mean, fuck. Because it's
also though, like, how do you feel about that if you're Apex Legends? Like,
right?
I had to pay you to be my friend. Like, that's exactly what I'm getting.
Yes.
Like,
and
you didn't care enough until I paid you. Like,
right.
No.
Right, but it's not much different than, like, if you're an influencer or, like on Instagram or YouTube where you're approached by, like, Home Chef or whatever and say, like, hey, here's our home cooked meal crap or whatever.
Exactly.
Like, we'll pay you to put this in your thing or for every person, so it's not so much. It's not
similar, but it's kind of different as well.
Because,
I mean, being an influencer, you're typically it's a product or like one of those like, oh, it's
I'm taking a selfie with my lip gloss.
Exactly. It's always like product based. It's things that you buy. It's things that are available to everyone. Blah blah blah. Yada yada.
Right.
But like for a game, it's kind of like, well, what if he's just not that fucking into the game? What if what if the people that are watching him are just like, nah, don't really care.
I know. Are you paying?
Just like an influencer, but at the same time, it's a video game.
And
so
are
it's kind
you
of like,
paying for his opinion or for his gameplay?
Right, yeah.
Exactly.
Like, what was it like? We want your honest opinion, or pretend you really fucking love it.
Yeah.
Like, as long as, like, it's, like, morally sound, like, it's not about, like, doing, Like, you could tell me to play a game and pretend to love it for $1 million for one day. Like, as long as there's nothing, like, immoral about the game, like...
Well, here's the thing. You brought up something that's going to lead me into another story that we have today. Electronic
Look at
Arts.
the segues, bitches.
I know! Electronic Arts, which is EA Games, EA Sports, which owns Apex Legends, laid off 350 people in marketing, publishing, and other areas. And that was, announced today. Those 350 people, was that Ninja's $1 million?
That's what I'm saying now. Like, what the fuck? Okay, sorry, but paying an influencer $1 million to market your game does not equal a marketing team.
And what if you're, what if you're that guy who came up with that fucking brilliant idea of getting Ninja? Because I wonder,
marketing that said, I know.
And then he got a pink slip.
Yeah.
Maybe Ninja should dye his hair pink again in honor of all of the pink slips for the people that
oh my god.
Got EA Games. Hey, you heard it here first.
Right?
I think he should. I mean, I would feel bad if a company paid me that kind of fucking money and then turns around a couple weeks later and fires 350 employees. That is brutal. Wow.
And everybody was talking about how they gave, I think it was the CEO of Blizzard Activision, a big ass raise right before they fired all those people.
Oh my god.
He got some kind of bonus. Because I had friends that were part of that layoff, and they were posting shit like, oh, okay, it's cool that, this member of upper management gets $1 million bonus and we get fired. Awesome. And I'm just like, oh shit.
It's such corporate bullshit, and it really goes to show how corporate greed has taken over the gaming industry. They made a point of putting out in their statement, their email in response to the layoffs, that they said, this is a difficult day. The changes we're making today will impact about 350 roles in our 9,000 person company. It's almost as if that was just thrown in there to kind of let people know, well, it's not that big of a percentage of our employees. We just had to roll back a little.
Say that to the people that got fired.
Regardless,
yes.
Doesn't matter if you've got 1 million people on your fucking corporate roster. If you're firing 300 people, you don't be like, well, we have, the rest out of that whole million, so it's okay. No, because it's not okay for those 300 some odd people.
Exactly. And if it's $1 million to Ninja and $1 million potentially to one of their executives that you just talked about, I'm pretty sure $2 million covers the year's salaries for quite a few of those employees.
Well, I mean, they're separate companies, but still, I mean, it's you got to believe that the $1 million they paid to Ninja could have probably saved some of those jobs.
Right. And losing employees, Telltale Games closed its doors recently, and they had employed about according to articles online, about 400 people, leaving only 25 people after they dropped majority of their staff. That's 375 people right there. So between the two companies, over 700 people in the gaming industry got axed this year. And those are all people looking for jobs.
And it's only March.
I mean, when did Telltale made their big layoff announcement in November. So in a 6-month time frame, that's pretty gnarly. And there's so much development happening, so many indie game companies coming up, that maybe that's where a lot of these people will find work, besides these monster video game companies that, let's be real, are taking the money that they're making off of the developers' backs and, putting in another fucking pool.
Yep.
The rich get richer.
That, that Activision announced all those layoffs and such, and then within a month, I'd say it was maybe a month to maybe just slightly over a month, made the announcement that they're going to begin a Call of Duty competitive league where you buy in teams at the same price as Overwatch League teams at $25 million.
Wow.
So, I mean, and not only that, but the Overwatch League also expanded by a whole bunch of teams, and that's $25 million per team. So what about that money?
Clearly that's where the money is going. And it makes
the teams are paying $25 million to be established as a team and be a part of this league. So anybody who wants to be
million, that's insane.
Yes.
And
so
that's obviously sponsorship money and deals.
Yeah, well, that's why Comcast has one. That's why the Kraft family has one.
Oh, that's dirty.
Yeah,
Here we go again.
So, Philadelphia Fusion, it's owned by Comcast. The Boston Uprising, they're owned by the same people who own the Patriots.
Wow.
And it's big name people buying these teams. So where did all that money go? Production hasn't stepped up that much on the Overwatch League, like actual Twitch channels and like their broadcasts. They've hired a couple of people, but I don't see where I think there was at minimum 4 teams. I know there's more, but even if it's just those 4, that's $100 million.
That's crazy.
So where did that money go? It's and then to know that they're putting out now a call out for people who want to pay that much to establish a Call of Duty team in the new Call of Duty League that they're starting.
Yes.
Where's that money going to go? Why did you have to fire it?
Right. No, it's so interesting because, there's another story in the news that I actually pulled up from a normal news page, not your typical video game news website. This is ABC7 in Long Island. That a teenager, 14 years old, is considered an athlete. He's a professional gamer with Misfits Gaming and is raked in, according to this article, almost $200,000 playing Fortnite.
Good for
him. He plays
That's awesome.
Yeah, his name is Griffin Spikoski. Yeah, there we go. Spikoski. Mm-hmm. He plays as Septic. What a name.
Right?
That is incredible. Now, what's funny is it says that he plays 8 hours during the week after he finishes his online classes for high school and up to 18 hours on the weekend. So he's not going to school. Everything he is doing is online and from home. Now, that's interesting. That's a different kind of parent. Clearly open to the computer age for their child, and here they are at 14 years old making a couple $100,000 a year. To me, that should make parents wake up to the potential in gaming.
Absolutely. I mean, even if you're just one of those parents who's just like, it's a phase. Yeah, well, the phase is going to earn you a shit ton of money, and if it truly is a phase, that's going to put your ass through college.
Sure, absolutly.
I mean,
you don't need to bribe nobody.
Yeah, oh my God, thank you for saying that, because I was just kind of thinking about the correlation here, how if you're a 14-year-old gamer, you're able to make your money right then and there, you're considered, an athlete in esports, but if you are a basketball player or a football player, and you go to college outside of high school, beyond, and you get involved in sports there, you're not allowed to make money while the organizations are making the money off of you. Imagine if they put that on esports, because same thing, they're, kids too young. It makes me look at that side of, being an athlete, and I think it's really wrong, and they're just exploiting those kids by not paying them for the money they're making for the college teams and stuff like that.
Right. And also, now there are college scholarships for esports.
Yes.
There's an Overwatch one that I know of for sure that I've seen. But I'm sure that there's others. I think there was a Call of Duty one as well.
There's also colleges that are actually opening up teams, and here we go. Here's maybe the reason why. We see colleges opening up esports programs, teams, and having these scholarship programs where they can get their education attached to it. But I bet you anything, if they're playing on a college team for an esports game or a college contest, I wonder if they're going to be allowed to win prize money. And if not, is that type of money going to the college and they're withholding it the way they do, for baseball players, football players that play under college umbrellas?
You know what? I'm not sure, but I could find that out because I have a few friends that do play for their colleges. They play for their colleges.
I'd love to know.
Definitely find that out.
If there's college money.
they go to all types of different like competitions and stuff. Like,
oh yeah, that's interesting,
I
right?
can definitely ask them.
Huh.
In fact, one of the people that my friend played with during the collegiate Overwatch times, he's now in Overwatch League. It's Moth.
Wow.
I know that they can transition, obviously, from one thing to the other, but I really want to ask them now, like, what's the financial aspect of this? Like, are you just like playing and they pay your like tournament dues, your fees, they pay that, or like what's the deal here? Like, I want to know. So I'll definitely ask about that and maybe have some answers for next week's show.
Yeah, because this is interesting because I can Google it, right? But I'm not getting any direct answers because I think this is something new. It's not something that the colleges have been able to kind of lock their financial hands into and control, because it is such an open league as far as gaming goes. So many different esports contests and things like that. So it's interesting.
Not only that, though, it's actually getting a little more mainstream because the Overwatch playoffs were on ABC this last week.
Yes, they were on Sunday. Sunday or Saturday? Sunday, I want to say.
Sunday. Yep, they were on Sunday on ABC, and like all throughout the beginning of this season, they've shown two games per day. Maybe it was, or maybe it was just the weekends. But they played them on Disney XD, and they also played them on ESPN.
Yep.
So it's not just Twitch and the Overwatch League app anymore. They're actually putting it on TV.
So
that's the first time I've seen it on a network channel. Like I've seen video game stuff on like TBS and like ESPN and stuff like that. But I mean, if you just have rabbit ears, I mean, that's fucking awesome that it's on
it's just on ABC.
Network television. Yeah, regular network TV.
So here's something that I found for AVGL College, and they do competitive gaming through their college, and they have their contests. So I went to their rules and the prizes, and so it says prizes are stated prior to the start of the league, and then there's prize distribution. For scholarship, every member that is on a team roster and has played in at least one single game is entitled to receive an equal share of any prize that team has won. So if you win and you're a part of a team, everyone splits up the winnings, unless they agree otherwise, and I'll get to that. It says payment distribution can be altered only if all players on the roster agree to the changes. So if Bob carried the whole team, then he's obviously can negotiate with his group to get more of the winnings, and if everyone agrees to it, then they'll pay that out. This is how they collect their winnings. All monetary winnings are paid out as scholarship or school supply payments, and not in the form of direct cash or in-game prizing. So I'm curious more as to what this group does, but that's kind of fucked up as far as I'm concerned. You're competing for something that could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, as we already know, but you can only get school, scholarship.
Yeah, but do you know how much schools cost nowadays, though?
Oh, I totally get that.
Like 20 to 30 grand a year, and that's even before room and board.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's not
so
even
on one hand, it's really good,
Yeah.
but also on the other hand, though, how much time are you dedicating to be that good to win these things for your college, and what's that doing to the rest of your workload?
And,
true.
I think
on top of that, you couldn't get an actual outside job if you're taking under the class. Still practicing, so what are you going to do for money?
Yeah, and I think it's still exploiting them to that extent, because like you said, unless they're fucking going to Harvard or some big prestigious really expensive school, it's probably 20 to 30,000 like you said, plus books, which these days you can rent from Amazon and other sources. So if you're a kid that could take home at like 14 like this other young man, 200 grand, it doesn't alter, it doesn't offset your winnings versus the cost of your schooling, and I think that's kind of fucked up.
Well, not only that, you can't take a scholarship voucher to Ralph's and buy cold medicine or frozen food or whatever a college student needs. So again, on one hand, that's cool that they're paying for your school stuff, but on the other hand, you know,
and you're just a seat. You're a seat in a classroom. You know, I realize that giving up that seat can cost them money in a sense, but if you think about working at fucking a pizza place, when you work there, you get a discount on the pizza you buy. You pay like 30% instead of 100%, at least how it was when I worked at Round Table as a kid. But basically, like, in that sense, for the school, their actual cost is far less than what they charge, and so even more so, they're just, you know, making money off of that kid to make more money off of that kid, and I think it's messy.
I feel like I see what you guys are saying, but I still don't see how it's that different than, let's say, someone who gets a full ride to play in a basketball team.
Oh, I agree.
Because they're making money for the school, people are coming to the games, people are betting on it in Vegas for fucking March Madness.
Yeah.
The schools are getting noticed.
Are the esports players given the same opportunities as the, like, you know, basketball, baseball, football players, where they can accept sponsorship deals? Because they make money from sponsorship deals too.
True.
I mean, who knows?
There are like college players that are big enough to, you know, have sponsorships for this, that, and the other. So
like Jumpman stuff or whatever. Yeah, like I mean, hopefully there's advocates for them that are there that are fighting for them, so they can get treated just like any other athlete, whether it's baseball, football, whatever. But I mean, I feel like it's kind of the same deal, especially, like I said, if someone's getting a full ride to, you know, for 4 years to perform. And I mean, I imagine that someone who's in football or baseball or like that's in like a big deal, you know, a top seed team or something, you know, they're too are like practicing and traveling half of their time. So they're not, so like their studies are going to be affected as well.
Right.
So I feel like it's not, I don't know, I feel like it's not terribly different than that of a traditional athlete.
But then we also have to ask the question too, like, did you get in on a scholarship? Were you recruited on a scholarship? Or did you pay to be here already, and now if you win, we're going to pay for some of your stuff?
So many questions.
Because if I paid $30,000 to be at a school and I joined their team, and then they tell me, oh yeah, so from here on out, we'll blah blah blah, this, that, and the other is partially covered or blah blah, but you have to win. Yes. I'd be like, well, I mean, that's great and all, and my next year most of the way, but I'm, you know, I'm still a broke ass college student. Like, that's why I'm sitting here playing Overwatch. Like, right. You know. While we're on the subject of college, though, I do have a question for you guys. Now, I don't know if you've already talked about the college admission scandal that's going on.
Yeah.
We have not. Maybe a little bit.
Idiots.
Little bit.
There is now an article going around that's saying that Olivia Jade, her Lori Loughlin's daughter, is now blaming her and her father for ruining her life. And a lot of people are saying, but didn't you not know?
Right, yes, I've seen that article, or I've seen them talking about it.
So, like, on one hand, if you knew, shut up. Like,
I fucking knew.
It don't matter. It doesn't matter. If you knew that that's what was going on, and you, like, consciously took part in that, then you got what you deserved. That's that. Right. But if she didn't know, and this, I only, like, think about this as well because I know people who have applied for colleges based on art, based on this, based on that, and they get acceptance letters, and their parents throw them away because they don't want them to go based on this, that, and the other.
Oh my goodness!
So if that's kind of the case, where because she didn't want to go to college, she wanted to do her YouTube thing and her makeup thing and whatever. And if they, like, pushed her into this and said, okay, well, you know, we're taking care of it, we're paying for everything, blah blah blah, and then she finds all this out, I could see how that would be some shit. Like, I would be really pissed too and be like, yeah, you kind of screwed me because you pushed me into your dream for me, not my dream for me, which was doing my YouTube and makeup stuff, and now I can't have either. She lost all her sponsorships. She's dropped from everything.
Yep.
So,
I mean, my question is when they put her in the crew boat, and they said, pose for you and your sister are going to be put in crew boats, like, why did she think she was in that? You know what I mean? Like, has she ever rowed a boat in her life? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, see, that's the other thing, too, though. Like, did they tell her, like, hey, this is what's going on? Or did they tell her, we're going to do a photo shoot to make you look good for college?
Right. Like, I feel like it's like Legally Blonde. Like, when she does her whole video, like, hey, guys, like, it's me in the pool, and I object, and, like, all this shit.
Yeah, and, like, based on what I've read about this girl, I honestly can see that that's something that may have happened. Like, they're saying that the oldest sister was in on it. The oldest sister is who put them in contact or something like that. Like, she facilitated. She was, like, super in on it.
Right.
Wow. So I'm wondering if they were just like, hey, other one, come over here and do this. And she just like,
get in the boat with me. Get in the boat with me. Like, like, I thought that was, like, this funniest shit when they're like, oh, yeah. They're like, yeah, they considered her for crew and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that girl, I have more upper body strength than that bitch does.
Yeah,
if you
she
wrote
crew.
Damn!
Yeah, exactly. If you wrote crew, you have, like,
you
arms.
look like you wrote crew. Like,
yes.
if you wrote crew and you're trying to get into college based on that, you got
muscles for days. I mean, you might not be like, super jacked, but, like, your arms
definition for sure.
Yes.
And like, abdominal definition, for, you know, your core strength and your arms.
She's a nice looking girl, but she definitely doesn't have crew arms, okay?
No!
I just think the whole thing is so absurd that I can't even believe that it happened, because they spent, I think, just Lori Loughlin herself, or, like,
on
the family.
Kids, yeah.
Right. I think they spent $500,000. I'm like, dude, take the $500,000.
That's crazy!
Into a trust fund and be like, here, when you're 21, you got some money for you if you want to open up a makeup store or do some kind of lame ass, you know, other Target fucking clothing line, you know, to your dad's. Actually, I was doing laundry today, and I, like, really, I'm like, Costco. I'm like, fuck you, motherfucker. Anyway,
right?
Oh my gosh. Does it make you want to throw away all your Target bought Mossimo clothes?
I mean,
the only thing I have is a pair of jeans that are size 2, and there's no way even one leg is getting into those now.
Girl,
so,
a lot of, like,
I couldn't get my arm in there.
I got those when I was, like, 18, so there's no way. I don't know why they're still here.
But I don't know. But it's just crazy to me. Like, you know, these weren't people who were desperate to get their kid, like, off to college because there's never been, or they're down and out.
Right.
These are people who have means, and, like, I mean, I don't think any kid should be bought, their future couldn't be bought, but you could totally set up your kids. And the kid was, at least the one daughter was doing well with her YouTube shit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, let her do her thing, and then be like, hey, in 3 or 4 years, if shit's not doing well, maybe consider some, you know, business courses or something. But and not everyone's ready to go to college at 17 or 18 years old.
No, you don't even know what you want to do. You have no clue about what to study, things like that. I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah. I know people who waited until mid-20s to attend community college just because they're like, well, I'm going to pay money, and I don't know if I'm going to, like, want to do this or this or this.
And
also the other thing too, like, everyone's like, why would you bribe your way into USC? You could make a legitimate donation and be considered, like.
Well, that's what was happening though. Like, they were. So that's, from what I was reading, is because that's why it's considered mail fraud or whatever, is because they were setting it up to look like a donation, but really it wasn't. So, I mean, but even if you are still making a donation to the school, just because I make a fucking big donation doesn't mean my fucking spawn should be going to school. Like, if my kid's not smart enough to get in the school on their own, then the kid's not getting in on their own. Like,
right.
Because then I feel like you're going to set up the kid for failure. Because what if the kid's, like, dumb? Or, you know what I mean? Like, let's say you just don't want to do it. You know?
Your kids are stupid and they can't pass the classes. So what are you going to do? Bribe the professors? They're going to give a little...
Exactly. I mean, like, why would you fucking do that shit? And then
just buy Pepperdine a new fountain and call it a day. I mean,
I bought you new sod for your front lawn, you know, for your, like, 10 acres or whatever.
Make a donation to some sort of sports team and they'll be like, sure, they can come here.
Oh,
right. It's just ridiculous. I can't believe that. I don't know. I feel like the girls kind of... who the fuck knows? I feel, well, and actually I told Alana last week and I was a little disappointed. So, like, when the story broke or whatever, and it hit the fan that the mom was arrested and blah blah blah. They're like, oh, and it turns out that the girl was on the yacht of one of the board of directors of USC. Oh wait, but but I'm like, oh man, she's sleeping with the board of directors, and then I continue to read it. I'm like, oh, she's only friends with the board of directors.
Oh, damn.
And I'm a little like upset about it because I'm like, now this Lifetime movie got better because.
Yes.
Because it sounds like some shitty fucking movie.
Oh, that's just absolutely, yeah. And, you know, I get it. Her parents have ruined her life. But is this a thing where she's going to sue her parents?
Right. Like, that's what I'm thinking, too. Like, if you truly, seriously did not know, does this mean that you're going to, like, sue? Because they don't have any more money.
Well, here's the other thing, though, I feel like that she could be doing. If I put the blame on my parents 100%, maybe I could get the sympathy of all my sponsors to come back to me.
Oh,
I don't think that
that's a good point.
Just because her parents are that tainted, I don't think they would.
Well,
I mean,
true.
Laughlin was the Hallmark and Lifetime Channel sweetheart, and they dropped her.
They
won't replay her shit
real quick.
They wouldn't even replay her shit at all.
Wow.
Like, if you were in a really good Hallmark movie, you'll never see your ass in it again.
Oh,
if Laughlin was in it.
Yeah,
that's so sad. And then it goes back to, and not to bring this up in any kind of comparison because it's two very different things, but it's like when they pulled down all the stuff with the Cosby Show. Because, you know, Bill Cosby was in it, and a lot of those actors that were in the show, they were all paying their bills, including the one guy who played, I'm going to have to look this up because I can't speak on him.
He played he went to go work for Trader Joe's.
Yes,
right, that guy?
He played like the husband,
Lisa Bonet's husband.
Right. And ended up working at Trader Joe's, and somebody took a picture of him and tried to shame him for it. Jeffrey Owens was his name. And they tried to shame him, and he was like, I like my job. I'm happy. Yeah. He was probably working at the one over in West LA. You know, and so...
I think he was working in one in New Jersey.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah, it was one in New Jersey that he was working at.
Oh, my goodness, you're absolutely right. I only assumed West LA.
Try to do that? They tried to do that to one of the Sprouse twins as well when they stopped acting and went to college. And
yes.
Like, oh, he's working at a coffee shop, and he's like...
I remember that. Yeah, why can't we as normal people acclimate into society if that's what we choose to do? I say we because as porn people, they have such a difficult time doing that. But clearly so do mainstream actors. Maybe they're just sick of having a camera on them all the time and they want to just take a break. You know, I totally respect that.
Right. And there's that, and some people just realize that they can't hack it or they're not getting the parts and they can't earn enough money to do that only.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Some people just face the music and realize, like, well, fuck, I'm not going to be able to pay my bills, and...
you're not getting consistent work, you're not in a movie, you're not on a sitcom or running show or anything, so, I mean, why not?
And that story, as we all know, ended happily with... Tyler Perry stepping forward and offering him a recurring role in his Have or Have Nots television series, which I thought was absolutely wonderful.
He's badass, Tyler Perry.
Yeah, I like that.
I love Tyler Perry.
It's all good stuff.
Everybody used to think he was such a joke because of all the Medea stuff and, you know, him being all the characters and blah, blah, blah. But it's just like, no, like, he makes good, serious shit. Like, actually pay attention.
That's so funny. You're listening to the Pwned by Girls podcast. I'm your girl, Alana Evans, with my girl, Lil Blue Box.
That's me, yo.
And our girl, Miss Penny Lane.
Hey.
Where can they find you, Blue?
You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram with the name LILBLUEBOXox, and that's spelled LILBLUEBOXox. You can find all that information and then some on my website, LILBLUEBOX.com. And what about you, Miss Penny Lane?
You can get me on Twitter. I am at @OMissPennyLane. You can find me on Instagram, OMissPenny, and you can catch me on Twitch, Miss Penny Lane 7. And you, Miss Alana?
You guys can get me on Twitter and Instagram. I am at Alana Evans XXX. Get me on Twitch. I'm Alana Evans. Get me on YouTube, which will currently or will eventually host our shows as well, which is youtube.com/Alana Evans. And be sure to visit the website, PwnedByGirls.com. Check out our awesome Discord server. And be sure to listen to all of the past episodes of our amazing show. Available on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Google Podcasts. Woo woo! That list is just growing all of the time. It is absolutely amazing. I think I'm going to take us out on a break right now. Play a little music. And
what are we listening to today?
What we are listening to. What do I have queued up on the amazing Spotify? You know what? We're going to bounce some booty, and I feel like, twerking on the break in between that I won't show anybody. So we're going to play some Cardi B, a little LSD from ASAP Rocky. It might go into some Legend of Zelda. I don't know. I haven't decided. But when we come back, we've got more awesome gaming news for you, some Netflix news. Maybe we'll talk some Riverdale. How does that sound? Is that good for the ladies? Oh, man. We'll talk about Apple's new game subscription service. Maybe that's why the industry is dying. I don't know. That's kind of rush to judgment, but maybe not. But right now, we're going to take a little break, play some music, and when we come back, more awesome gaming action.